Now we will see the various examples of create table. You know that this command is used, create command, create table. Create actually can be used to create a database also. If you by chance have a system with you at home and if you want to try all this, first of all you have to create a database, right? So for that you give the command create database and use a database name. Say my database name is effort. Okay, put a semicolon, right? Now you will see it will give you a message, database is created or zero row is affected like this. After that, what you need to do is you need to write use effort. Use effort means you actually get into that particular database. Now you can create the tables. So here you use the command create table to create various tables with the structure, required structure that you need. So that is what exactly we are going to do now. You know, if you remember, we did create table name. Say I name my table as tab 1, right? And then within a pair of simple bracket, we write all the data types and the fields, the data types of the fields basically. So say first of all I took a student name. This is my field, or you can say attribute, and it is of character 30, comma. This is how in comma we give and we write in a structured manner. Say I took S code, which is an integer. You can write either int or you can write the word integer, meaning is same. And say I took another variable, percent or percentage, whatever, percent on the input, and say I give decimal. I said 4,2. Fine. Now my declaration, I realize that my declaration of table is over. So I will close this bracket and I will put a semicolon. That is how basically we can create a table. Fine. We write the fields and then we write the data types. But what you have not learned in class 11 in details, there is a factor called constraint. Okay, what it is called? It is called a constraint. What is a constraint? Constraint is basically a condition which you impose on a particular field. Okay, what kind of constraints can be used? For example, you want, while defining the table only, you are absolutely sure that you want this S code to act as a primary key, right? So you can write here, just after this comma, you can write, before this comma, sorry, you can write primary. Fine, this is how you can basically impose a constraint. This is a constraint, primary key. Primary key. Fine. This can be written in capital, small, mixed characters, whatever you want, not a problem. Okay, this is absolutely not a problem. Fine. Then imagine, say I have another this thing field, grade. Grade is say character, and I say only 2 characters anymore because A1, B1, C1, that is how I want to represent the grade. But imagine I want some of the fields should not carry any null value. Fine. Should not carry null value, should not carry any blank values. Right? So what you can do is you can write here, for example, I do not want name to be blank. So what you can do here, you can write not null. Not is a word, null is a different word. Not null, again capital small doesn't matter here, not null. If you write not null, then what happens? This field cannot have a null value. Another thing is, another constraint which I want to discuss with you, that is called default. Fine. Again here capital small doesn't matter. You can write default. Okay. And after that, default constraint is used basically to specify a default value. Okay. How it is done? I think I'm going too much on the right side. Let me do it here. For example, I did create table, say tab 1. My first this thing is say S name and say char 30, and I don't want people to be in null value, so I wrote not null. Fine. Then I took S code. I thought this would be integer data. Okay, and I want this to be a primary key also, so I wrote primary key. Fine. In fact, you can write not null and primary key together also. It is good practice because anyway it will not allow you to give a field blank, because primary key means it has to carry a unique value. Fine. So some people write S code int not null primary key. That is also possible. And then say I wrote percentage. Say this is my decimal value, decimal kind of data, and I say 4,2. That should be the size. And finally, say I took a value, I took a field grade. I said it will be two characters basically. But sometimes I might give a value, sometimes I might not give a value. If I leave it completely blank, okay, how to leave a value completely blank, that I will tell you when we do insert command. With insert things, some of you may not remember this. When we do insert, we'll come back to this thing once again. But remember for now that if we want a value to be a default value, we can write like this, default. Say I wrote A1. Okay. Now here my all declaration got over, so I close the quotes and I has the bracket and I put the semicolon. What's the meaning of this default A1? That means if I leave the value blank, if I leave the value blank for the grade, for the field grade, then automatically the value which will be put over there is A1. So we write a default space, after writing the data type we give space, default space, we write the value that we want, default value that we want. Do not put any equal to another things, equal to signs are not used here. Okay, so this is how we do it. Fine. Now what I was talking about, if you remember, we were just discussing about the primary key. That primary key always may not be a single column primary key or single key primary key or single field primary key. I realize my table doesn't have any field which can probably give me the unique values. So I have to go for combination of values. How can I go for the combination of values, or how can I set up that kind of primary key here? Obviously in that case I cannot write S code int primary key just like that. So say here I want to go for a combination of sname and S code for some reason. Okay, so obviously I will not write primary key here. Fine. In that case, what you have to do at the end, don't close it here because we cannot close the thing here. We can just write a comma. Okay, when all the things are done, at the end you have to write this keyword called constraint. Fine. Write the word constraint at the last line when everything is defined with the last comma. After that, you write constraint, and then you have to write a constraint name, any name, like just like the way you give variable name, that kind of name. Say I named it as S key. I chose the name. So constraint S key. After that, you have to write primary key. If you remember, we wrote primary key here also. So same way you write primary key. And now within a bracket, you write all the columns which you want to include. Like I want to include sname, so first I will write sname, fine, and then I will write S code, so comma S code. This way, by giving the comma, you can grow it as many, you can put it as many fields as you want. So what did I do? I will write the word constraint, I will give a constraint name, then I will write with a space, I will write primary space key, and with that I will give a function kind of symbol. Within a bracket I will write all the columns, those columns are to be, which are to be included, or with the combination of which basically will represent the primary key. Those will write, and then I will put my final bracket at this level. That is how you can set a combination of fields as primary keys. And if you do not want the combination of keys as primary keys, if you want a single key primary key, then you write straight away. So what all the constraints I told you? I told you one is not null. Not null, if you write, then you cannot leave that field, you cannot give the field a null value. If you write default, and if you write a default, then if you leave it blank, if you leave the field blank, then what happens? Then the default value, whatever you specify, that is given to the field. And another constraint you can note is the primary key, which is used directly. You can use primary key here. Okay, if it is a single field, and if it is a combination of keys, then you have to go for this kind of format.